Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella clarified that President Rodrigo Duterte was unaware of the date of the Marcos burial, but he stressed that the president respects the decision of the Marcos family. Rocky Ignacio filed this report.
President Rodrigo Duterte hopes that the Marcos burial will ease tension between the Marcos family and their critics. The president said this after the remains of former President Ferdinand Marcos has finally laid to rest at the libingan ng mga bayani. The chief executive issued a statement upon arrival at Jorge Chavez International Airport in Lima, Peru for the 24th Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC Summit. He encouraged people somehow abused or suffered under the Marcos regime to file a case against the former president.
President Rodrigo Duterte released a statement today, Friday, 18th of November, upon landing at Chavez Airport in Lima, Peru, on the burial of former President Ferdinand Marcos, and he said, "Hopefully, both sides will exercise maximum tolerance and come to terms with the burial of former President Ferdinand Marcos." In an additional statement to the Presidential Communication Office, he further said that he hoped everybody would find a space in their hearts to forgive and to set free those who had hurt or injured them. The decision to bury the late President Ferdinand Marcos today is a personal decision of the Marcos family. We respect their choice of date for the interment.
Malacanang also reiterated that the executive has no authority to intervene with the decision of the Supreme Court on the issue of Marcos burial.
The Supreme Court lifted the status quo ante order and allowed the burial of the remains, and the President adheres to the ruling of the High Court. Government extended the necessary assistance in matters relating to protocol and honors. We understand that there is a segment of society against the burial at the libingan ng mga bayani. The President fully understands this and has allowed any form of mass action as long as it is legal, peaceful, and in accordance with the law. In the past, he has said, "Let history judge, but I will do what is legal," and the Supreme Court has ruled that it is.
At the same time, the palace official asked public for calmness amidst anticipated anti-Marcos demonstrations.
Like the President said, that he hopes that we might find a space in our hearts to be able to forgive and set free those who have hurt or injured us. Also, in a more elevated sense of logic, he said that he hoped that the burial would actually bring about a cycle of healing for the Filipino people, and it has been a few decades, and in fact, practically a new generation has grown up not really knowing about the Marcos years, and while we may put these things in perspective later, we certainly hope that the Filipinos will be able to move on and bring about of course, people resent, some people resent that statement about moving on, but it is I believe it is a reasonable thing to ask that the people do, after this event, that they will set aside differences and learn to build bridges, and that we might build a stronger nation, which we see the President attempting to do it.
For PTV News, Rocky Ignacio, Lima, Peru.